right. What's going on, guys? We are live. Haven't done, I'm trying to get my camera settings here. Haven't done a live stream in quite a while. Figured I'd go live here. I haven't been posting as many videos as I've been wanting to be posting for a few reasons, but we are live now, and yeah, I hope to do a few more live streams, as now that the cold weather's starting, a lot of the ice is starting to form around here. So yeah, gonna be probably doing a lot more live streams this time of year. But while we wait for people to get on, I'm gonna talk to you guys about the purpose of this live stream. We're gonna be taking a look on what I carry with me in my Hardbaits tackle box that I carry in my tackle bag. I've had a lot of questions about the tackle trays that I carry in my tackle bag. And the most asked one is, what do you carry in your Hardbaits box? What does the organization look like? What does everything else look like? So we're going to be taking a look inside my Hardbaits box here. And yeah, we're going to be taking a look at that. But I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to get on to the live stream here. What I'm going to do, and this is a little bit unusual, I'm going to pick you guys up. I'm in my apartment right now. We're just moved in. I'm going to come over here just so I can still talk to you guys and still get my tripod set up here. Just so I can still talk to you guys. I'm just going to grab myself some chocolate milk real quick while I wait for everybody to get on. But you guys know me, I really don't go live very often. Usually when I do, usually it's just a, an R&R chat or something, but or a Q&A or something. But we're going to be taking a look inside my Hardbaits box today, only because I'm getting a lot of questions about it. And a lot of the questions that I get, I've been wanting to answer for a very long time, and I just haven't had the chance to answer them because I've been really busy. But tonight I found some time to do a live stream, so I figured I would do one. Didn't really have nothing going on tonight, so I figured tonight would be a good night to film a live stream. So. All right, let's go back over here to the couch. Set that down. Wipe off the couch real quick. All right, so this is, I'm going to actually explain this first. So this is my Hardbaits box. It is a Plano 3700 series stowaway, Pro Latch stowaway. I like the Pro Latch boxes. I used to use the traditional, boxes where they just had the little tab here, but I switched over to the Pro Latch because I've actually had issues with those breaking open in my tackle bag. So I prefer these because they're really, really strong Pro Latches and they don't break. I also prefer Plano brand tackle trays because they're one of the most durable. So when I look for a tackle tray, I look for durability, dependability, how long they last, the quality of the plastic that it's made out of, and the dividers. And Plano has just always been one of my favorites. I've tried Flambeau, those are alright. I've tried a few other brands, they're okay. I've tried Bass Mafia, I've tried Guggen Squad, I've tried Flambeau, I've tried them all. And it's just that I found that these work best for me. I've been using these for years. Haven't had a problem with them as of yet. So, we're gonna pop this open here. Try my best to show this. Pretty good view right here. So these are the Hardbaits that I choose and use the most. I'm very particular about my tackle, so I choose my tackle to go into my tackle box that are very, very useful for me. I use the same baits in this box. The baits in this box stay the exact same year round. Basically everything that I would need is in this box right here when it comes to hard baits. So, kind of adjust this real quick. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this box open here. Show you guys what's in here. So, the organization that I have for this is I have my square bill crankbaits and my deep diving crankbaits up in here. I have some more deep diving crankbaits over here. I got my jerk baits over here, topwater hard baits over here. I got my lipless crankbaits over here, my jitterbugs over here, and then I have my any other crankbait that doesn't have an organization, fit the organization up here, goes down here. And then I have some bigger glide baits, swim baits, other giant crankbaits and stuff in there. So I guess first thing we can start off with is my square bills and my deep divers in here. My favorite crankbait of all time is a square bill crankbait, and I have a variety in here. Most of these are Strike King Series 1.5s. Most of them. I also have a few 1.0 Strike King series in here. Just because that crankbait is so good. You guys know they're great. Alright. So as you can see, I have a pretty good variation of square bills here. So we'll go ahead and go over them. I'm going to try to pull out my Strike King first, because those are my favorites, obviously. Alright, so I have 3 Strike King 1.5s here. These are the KVD series. First one I have is bluegill pattern. One of my favorite patterns for obviously imitating bluegill, especially in the spring when the bluegill start to spawn. Imitating bluegill is very, very key that time of year. I also have a Sexy Ghost Shad right here. Really unique color. Haven't had a chance to throw it yet, but I had to pick it up because it's such a unique color. And then I have the classic chartreuse blackback right there. Staple in everybody's tackle bag. You gotta have one of these. And then I have 2 Strike King Series 1.0s, which are a little bit of a smaller size. So I have Chartreuse Sexy Shad in the 1.0. And then I have obviously another chartreuse blackback in the 1.0 pattern or size. And then I have a Bass Pro Shops XBS square bill, and this one here is a Red Craw. I tried to find the Strike King series Red Craw color, but I just couldn't find it in my local Bass Pro Shops. But I have one of those. And then I have a bigger square bill here. This is a Storm Arashi. And the reason I picked this up is because I figured it was just an otter color. It would stand out in the water when the fish are really finicky. And I also really like these Arashis because they have a circuit board lip, very, very durable. And you're not going to break your lip on a rock or something if you cast it into a rock. So, very interesting. All right, and I have a few deep diving crankbaits in the same section. And I got two bigger sized Rapala Shad Raps. This one here is in bluegill. Really big Rapala Shad Rap here. Caught a lot of bass on them though, they're pretty good. And I like these because they have a really nice tight wobble. And this one here is more of in a traditional, like, I think this is like a gizzard shad or something. Don't really know the exact color pattern on this one, but it's still a really great color pattern. Oh, I just poked myself. That hurt. Alright, I have a Rapala DT10 in crawfish. Really, really great deep diver. This one has a little bit more of a wider wobble. And then I have a Guggen Squad Mini Recon. And I don't really use this one very much, but I picked it up because I like some of their baits, and this is one of their hard baits that's actually caught me fish before. And this one's in, I believe, native shad. I believe that's the color on that one. Alright, so next up, so my favorite deep diving crankbait to throw is the Rapala Shad Rap. And I have a very big variety of Rapala Shad Raps here. Some of these are a little bit bigger sizes, some of them are a little bit smaller sizes, but we'll go through them real quick. So I basically have my basic coverage when it comes to this bait. There we go. So I got, starting off, I got bluegill in the smaller size. I also have Fire Tiger in the smaller size. I have a little bit bigger size here in Silver Shad. And this is an interesting color. I got the bigger size again, but this one here is in walleye pattern, which honestly is a really sick looking color. Walleye pattern. And then I have another one in perch, classic color. And then my last one, I was looking for a craw pattern, but my local Bass Pro Shops only carries the jointed craw pattern. So I picked up a jointed shad rap right here in a craw pattern. Pretty sick looking craw pattern, honestly, if I do say so myself. I'm a pretty big fan of that. Those are my Rapala Shad Raps. Alright, moving on. I got my jerk baits right here, and I probably have more jerk baits than any other bait, to be honest. I got a giant variety of jerk baits that I carry with me. It's one of my favorite baits to throw, as you can see. So we're going to be going over these as well. I'm going to have to set these right here just to go through them. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out. So my favorite jerk bait to throw is the Rapala X-Rap. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out my X-Raps real quick. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my X-Raps. Should have one more. Yeah, right there. Alright. So Rapala X-Raps. I got a 4-inch X-Rap in silver right here. This is my favorite jerk bait to throw. Some of the best money can buy, in my opinion. They're great, they're durable, they last you a long time. They're reasonably priced. They're not like super expensive like a Lucky Craft jerkbait or anything, but they're a really, really solid bait. I got one in silver, and I have another. Get it up here. All right, I got another 4-inch X-Wrap in this gold shiner. Really, really nice color right here. Imitates a dying shad perfect. Just threw it onto the couch on accident. Alright, then I have 2 smaller X-Wraps, and I find that the smaller ones actually catch you more fish. So I have a smaller silver size right here, and an interesting color that I don't throw very often, but I figured I'd pick one up. I have a rainbow trout colored one, X-Wrap, and I think this is the 3.5 inch version, or 3.25 inch, I believe. But haven't caught any fish on the rainbow trout colored one yet. Gonna be giving it a try soon though. I have a couple. Alright, so I got 2 Bass Pro Shops generic jerkbaits. These are the XPS versions. And this stuff's pretty good. I've thrown a lot of Bass Pro Shops equipment, and it works pretty well. Their jerkbaits are pretty decent. They're not terrible. And I've caught some fish on their stuff. I also have another one in like this other weird rainbow trout color. This one I actually have caught some bass on. This one here is actually pretty effective. So, got those. I have a Yozuri pin minnow right here. Don't throw it very often, but I do have a Yozuri pin minnow. Usually don't throw it, but it's got this holographic purple color on it. It's actually kind of interesting. And then the rest of them are classic Rapala floating jerkbaits, because that bait's classic. Absolutely love it. I've loved it ever since I was a kid. I have one in a classic perch pattern right here. Classic color. I got a classic minnow color. Very classic bait. I have one in golden shiner right there. And then I have this blueback one. Pretty interesting. And yeah, so far those jerkbaits have done pretty good for me. So far they've done pretty good for me. Alright, what's next? Let's go topwater. And I have a wide variety of topwaters over here. Start off with my Whopper Ploppers, and these are all Berkeley Choppos over here, the 90 size. It's my favorite size. I got a straight black one for early morning conditions, or anytime I want to just have a silhouette on the top of the water. This one's really nice for those conditions, and then for other conditions or during the day, I got a white one. I believe this color is called Bone. Pretty good. And these are both Berkeley Choppos. I got my spooks. I got 2 spooks here. These are both Bass Pro Shops XPS walking baits. I have one in pearl. Really great walking action on these baits. You just barely twitch the rod and they walk perfectly fine. And I got one in Fire Tiger type pattern. Great baits. Alright, I got my poppers. So the majority of these our Bass Pro Shops poppers. I got 2 Bass Pro Shops poppers in the same colors I had the spook in. I got one in this bone white right here. And then I got another one in this Fire Tiger pattern. A popper is one of my favorite topwater baits to throw when I'm trying to fish slower on the top. And then I have a smaller popper here, this Rebel Pop R in a perch pattern. Really great popper right here. This popper is amazing, especially in finesse situations when you want to downsize. I have a Arbogast Buzz Plug, which is a very interesting bait, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you have not even seen this bait yet. It's basically a hybrid between a buzz bait and something else, I guess, maybe a frog, but very, very interesting bait right there. All right, I'm gonna have to take a bathroom break, and I will get right back to the stream. You guys just have to give me like 2 minutes. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let's go over the rest of the box. We're about halfway done. So next would be my lipless crankbaits. And I have a variety here because I have a few favorites. First things first, I got a couple Strike King Red Eye Shads. This one here is just in a classic shad pattern. Really, really great bait. And I have another one in Chili Craw, which is another amazing pattern. I have a, let's see, Bill Lewis original rattle trap right there. I got a Rapala Rip and Wrap right there in a silver pattern. I have another Rip and Wrap in like this blue shad pattern. And I have a Bass Pro Shops generic lipless in like a white pattern. As you can see, I'm throwing a lot of whites, a lot of blues, a lot of perch, a lot of patterns like that. This is what works for me. It's all about confidence. Oh yeah, and then I have this really, really small Bill Lewis rattle trap, like the smallest one they make. Got one of those. Alright, jitterbugs. Another section of topwater here. Jitterbugs, they have to be one of my favorite topwater baits to fish, and I carry 4 of them just because I love the action on a jitterbug. It's just so subtle. Alright, got the 650 size. jitterbug in this bullfrog pattern right here by Arbogast. Really great bait. I got another one in the 650 size. This one here is more in a traditional fire tiger type pattern. I have one of their white and red jointed ones, which I've had quite a bit of luck on. Only jointed one that I own. And then I have a 600 size. And this is a really, really small one right here. Alright, and then I have the majority of crankbaits that just didn't fit the organization, but I still carry them around because they're really great baits. I have a couple of Rapala jointed minnows, one in silver, then I have one in perch down there. I have a really, really small Rapala crankbait, maybe using that for crappie or something. Berkeley flicker shad in here, right there. Got a live target jointed crankbait. I have a Rapala I believe this is I can't remember what type of crankbait this is, but it's one in a walleye pattern. Caught a few fish on it. And then I have a couple of Rapala original floating smaller jerk baits, one in silver down there, one in perch. So that should do it for the crankbaits. And then over here I have all my bigger baits that are just really big and I would never really use for largies. Ow. Alright, so I have a Bass Pro Shops XPS glide bait. Now, this bait is interesting. I caught a few pike on it up in Minnesota. I know it catches northerns. I don't know if it catches bass around where I live. But it's a really nice little bait. Big bait, I should say. Has an amazing clacking action. And it does catch fish. So, it's an amazing bait. And I believe I paid like 15 bucks for it, so they're pretty expensive up there, but yeah, got one of those. I also have a bigger Rapala shad wrap. This thing is huge. It's in a fire tiger pattern. And I used this one a few times for pike. Had some luck on it. But it's a huge bait. Very huge bait. I got a couple of I usually don't go trolling, but I do have a few trolling plugs in here. I usually don't go trolling, but I figured just in case I do in the near future, I'll carry a couple on me. So I got two of those. And then lastly, I have a giant bomber crankbait. And this thing is huge. Like compared to my hand, like this bomber size crankbait is absolutely huge. But I do carry one. Never really caught any fish on it, but I found it on the shoreline of fishing in Minnesota one year. Really, really nice. So that is everything that I carry with me in my Hardbaits box. And just to give you guys a perspective, I'll show you guys my coffee table. Look at this. Look at all those baits. That's just to give you guys a perspective of how much I carry in one tackle box. And the other tackle tray that I carry in my bag, I carry two of them. The other one weighs twice as much. It doesn't have any hard baits in it, but it's got all my jigs, chatterbaits, all that good stuff. And if you guys want to see a video about what I keep in my all-purpose box, which is that box, definitely let me know. Subscribe. And I want to thank every one of you guys for coming on to this live stream with me. I know I don't do too many of these, but I figured I'd do one. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, stay on the barb. I'll catch you guys again on the next stream. All right.